Hey everyone, we're here with Chaka from Orange 9 millimeter. You know
What,
him.
what?
You've got to know him.
What?
Long time, great band. Chaka, I
Man,
cannot thank you enough for joining me today on Father's Day, nonetheless,
I
to
know.
chat.
The daddy,
The-
you know,
yeah,
really
how
down for the
awesome.
million man daddy. It's no, it's really it's beautiful, and shout out to the dads and those that are willing to be dadded. Like I guess that's teachable, right? There's some
Yeah,
people unteachable. I guess if you're daddable, you're teachable, right? If you can have, I'm stopping.
it's okay. You got to be teachable, right? Like that's
Yes,
part of life. Life is ever learning, which is that's the beautiful thing about it.
100%.
So my first question is Orange 9 millimeter is coming back, and you
Mhm.
have one of my favorite drummers, Chris Enriquez. What
Chris
a
Enriquez. I know that guy.
what a first, what a great dude he is. Um,
Yes, wonderful gentleman, very enthusiastic about music. I used to hang out with friends, and sometimes we'd spin records at different clubs and stuff for fun, and Chris would come and hang out, and yeah, met a lot of cool people just doing that and really just enjoying loving music. uh and that we were spending, it was like, hip hop and 80s mashups and stuff, and like punk stuff, and it was fun. And Chris would come and hang out, and then he ended up playing with me and Gavin in Bern for a little bit, which was very cool. He played the Tompkins Square Park show. Shout out to Cousin Joe. One of those shows that was put on out there, and yeah, just wonderful guy. Very a music lover. That's what I wanted to say. A music lover.
100%. He absolutely is. I think that's what connected he and I.
Yes.
Of course, I didn't meet him until I guess I when did I meet him? Probably 2017 or 2018. First time I saw him was 2016, his first tour with Spotlights, who I
Right.
absolutely adore.
Very cool. Yeah.
Um, so the the biggest question I have, and I'm super thankful that Orange 9 millimeter is back and playing. That makes me so fucking happy.
Me too.
What was the catalyst to like get to bring that back and get that going again?
Interestingly enough, right before COVID, Chris Trainer and I, who I, co-founded the band with myself and Chris, we were talking about getting back together. And COVID just messed it up, and Davide was going to be a part of it. And we were going to kind of figure out who's going to play drums because Matt's in Puerto Rico. And Matt, who was like one of my dearest friends when he was here, living here, but he's in Puerto Rico and he's not really interested in kind of coming out of that to do. And I think he's doing his thing, and so Chris and I were talking about kind of what kind of sounds we were kind of going for, and what kind of we wanted to hear, and that kind of a thing. And then COVID happened, and it really just kind of threw everything into a tizzy, and kind of deep unfocused people from a lot of things. Um, and then I had still felt the urge to do it. I wanted to play in that sandbox of colors that Orange Nine has available. Um, so I just asked him, I was like, "Yo, T, you feel like playing again?" He's like, "Yeah, fuck yeah." It's just like perfect timing for him. Is like, his kids are kind of old enough that he can, it's Father's Day. Dude's a great father. He actually kind of was like, I can't even do anything. In his mind, he was like, I can't even do anything until my kids are kind of can fend, not fend for themselves, but you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
he's like, yeah, it's a perfect time because my kids are kind of just at that age now where actually I can get away, you know? So T and I got together, with, talking. And then I reached out to Chris had asked me a while ago. He said, if you guys do Orange Nine, I definitely want to do it, like reach out. So after I was reached out to Matt first, obviously you want to get Matt, because it's Matt. And if I could, I would rather play with Matt just because it's Matt. But I mean, I'm happy to play with Chris. But if I could have had Matt, I would love Matt. Why not? Matt's my
Sure.
brother. But Chris is the on the very same tier from a friendship standpoint. We've grown closer. and a love perspective, all that. So yeah, so then there's guy Corey that's a friend of Chris's who I had met a couple times. Because we had some bass player ideas, but we're unsure of who would be the best fit. So Chris recommended Corey, and one of the things I liked about some another banders that I had known is that their rhythm section was very close. And so I felt like I thought about my friendships when I'm close with people. We're often very psychic with each other. Like one of my dearest female friends, like we're thinking of each other all the time at the same time or calling, oh yeah, I was fucking thinking about you. Like, and it's real. So I'm thinking, okay, like if they're going to be a rhythm section and they know each other, you're probably not going to get because a band has a lot of aspects to it, right? It has a musical one, it has a social one, it has a business one, right? It has a vision one, right?
Yeah.
So then how do you kind of staff that? Like you're like Mark Jackson, setting up the Golden State Warriors for Steve Kerr, except you're going to be both coaches, right? You're going to set it up to win, and then you're going to work with it and get it over the finish line. And so I thought that if since Corey and Chris were so close, that I just thought it would just work out, you know. Um, and I believe it has, you know.
I think so. Like that, this single turn it up. Holy shit.
Yeah, yeah.
Like,
So
wow.
it,
To me it's like a return to form.
yeah, yeah. I think it's the best form, honestly, and I think it sounds great today. It's like it's fucking it's what I want to fucking hear. It's like I can dance to it, I can dunk on somebody, I can skate to it, I can, you know what I mean? Like I can do the shit. I can run to it. Like let's fucking go.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I told, and this is some personal shit that I'll share. It's fucking funny, but you know what? Fuck it. So I was doing some like my like ghost decibel shit years ago, right? Years ago, like 18, 17, some shit. And so I sent my girlfriend at the time this song. I'm like, oh my God, you check this out, whatever. She was like in school at the time. Like, she's like, I listened to it on my break, right? So she listens to it. She's like, she sends me, text me back. I don't, or emails me back. I don't know when I'd listen to this. At the time, I was like, you. I was pissed, but I didn't say anything to her, but I was like secretly pissed. But now
Right.
I know exactly what she means. When you think about great hardcore songs, you know what you're supposed to do. It's telling you to let that energy flow, or dance song, it's telling you to dance, or a freestyle song is telling you to feel romantic and urban and dance and think about, one night stands and or all night love or whatever the thing is, you know. Rock songs, they tell you kind of, they inform you what you're supposed to fucking do. And I like that turn it up kind of, I mean, figuratively and literally, I guess. And I wasn't thinking that. Tells you what to do, you know. I think the only music that I don't really that I love that doesn't really tell me what to do is Cocteau Twins, one of my favorite bands. Actually, they do tell you what to. They tell you to relax and drink, close your eyes. I think just I was thinking because from a language perspective, right?
Right.
But they tell you exactly what to do. You know, the Sundays tell you exactly what to do. Feel reminiscent. I listened to that first Sundays record every night when I went to sleep for like probably like a year. I was like I would go to sleep to that record. And then that record Blind, which I think is better, the second one, I guess, or something.
Huh.
You never listen to the Sundays?
I can't say that I have.
Okay.
I'm gonna have to now.
Well, if you want to improve your life, you should.
Well, yeah, I think all music improves your life. If someone can give me something that I've not heard before, I'm happy
I
to
was
to
being
listen to it.
facetious.
I like that. Facetious.
Facetious.
Well, the reason I like conversations with other people that are into music is
Mhm.
because they always turn me on to something that is new to me.
Right.
So, like, I love it. I can't tell you how many bands Chris has turned me on to, or like I've got a really good friend almost every day. Like he's like, dude, check this out, or I'm sending him something. Dude, check this out. Like, oh my God, this is so good. So, that's where I think like for me, music is that great uniter.
Absolutely.
What ow. Sorry, my cat bit me. Um
Cat disagrees. Music is not. Apparently, she doesn't like your taste in music sometimes, right?
Probably
You know
not.
it, right?
She's like, I'm not into brutal death metal today. Get away from me. I'm like, yeah, okay. We
I'm sure she is. Okay,
yeah.
go ahead. Sorry. What's the next question?
Um, I don't even know oh, my next question. What was your experience like with like the scene in New York, primarily in the, you know, I'm gonna say early and mid 90s, like as
Mhm.
Orange Nine was really starting to do something.
My experience was one of just coming out of managing a health food store called Prana Foods, which was like a crucial place in the scene where Norman Brannon, Mark Ryan, I think per se Ray and Purcell, um, my boy Sasha Jenkins, rest in peace, a bunch of people like worked there. Um, and we got signed. So I was like, all right, fuck it. Like we're gonna write this record. Like I'm gonna quit my job. So I was like, um, me and Mark Ryan best were like really close friends. And we were like going to restaurants and being excited about that. We were like still pretty young, being excited about going to restaurants and and tipping well. Like we loved that kind of a thing. And also like the nightlife at the time was really cool because you had like the East Side bars or whatever, like Alcatraz and all those places that are kind of classic bars, beauty bar. Um, but you also had like the building and these other kind of industrial limelight. It was a lot of a lot of music, a lot of nighttime, a lot of sheets and pillows as well. Shout out to sheets and pillows. Um, a lot more nighttime, a lot more dance music came into the picture for sure. I'm just realizing that. But dance music was seeping into, or maybe hardcore kids are being more drawn to it, or I was starting going to those places. But it seemed like I was friends with more and more people that like dance. Like if there's certain burn videos where you see this guy named Joey Rodriguez that used to roadie for us and dance with us and all that stuff. Um, he's rocking like a turtleneck, a Latin gentleman, good looking guy, kind of slender face, with like the horn rimmed glasses, and he's wearing like a turtleneck and like a Caesar haircut, very kind of clean cut. And during the hardest parts of this is in Burn, with like the last Burn shows, the hardest parts in Burn, he's voguing, and it looks amazing. It's like some fucking Nero type shit or something. You know what I mean? Like it's crazy. You got people like literally going ape shit in the pit, dancing hard at CB's, and he's right there, voguing, and then he'll go and stage dive and kick ass. But it was real. I mean, and I think that all those different kind of music seeping in and the nighttime stuff becoming more normal. I think it was kind of fertile ground to create something kind of, with different influences, I guess, right?
Yeah. Well, I think that's one of the really cool things that I've always enjoyed about like live music, primarily heavier music, right? Whether it's death metal or hardcore or punk. You go to a show and people don't give a shit if you look different, right? Like
Right. They used
you're
to.
yeah, but like not anymore,
Yeah, not
right?
anymore. Yeah.
Uh, that which is something that taking my kids, my daughter has always felt like an outcast, like she's never really belonged. And taking her to her first, we went to go see Max and Igor Cavalera do
Oh,
Return to
cool.
Roots. She was probably 9, I think. And she walked in nervous as shit. And almost immediately, people were like, "You're the coolest kid ever. Here's some signed drumsticks. Here's some signed CDs." Like,
So she felt accepted immediately.
yeah,
Oh, wow, that's interesting.
yeah, just like, I love that. I
Yeah,
love that us outcasts, if that is what it is, right, are able to
mhm.
come together and like no one gives a shit. Like we're there for the same reason. Let's enjoy the music. Hey, thanks. Come be a part of our club.
Yes. Yes.
Hmm.
Is there a question or
No, no,
yeah.
that was literally just a statement. I
You know what? Fuck it. I said I was gonna try to keep it about hardcore, but it's fine. I gotta talk about what I care about. What you just kind of brought up, we're outcasts, and I think that there's another way to look at it. I think the way I might look at it is we put together, we spell our reality differently than the masses spell their reality, meaning putting one letter of of a word of a sentence of an idea together, we do it differently, which enables us to have DIY. We couldn't have a DIY culture if we were putting our sentences that created our lives together the same way everybody else did, right? It would be impossible. So there has to be some kind of um a shifted something in how we see the world, right? So I think the people that want you to not do that call that person an outcast. But in my view, I believe that person is a person that has an opportunity to create new paths and to, bring civilization forward on behalf of the people that it resonates with, and those are normal people, right? So I think the
yeah.
outcast thing, I think it's tough. I think we got to start to see ourselves, give ourselves a little bit more credit.
Yeah, I can see that. Um, it's I guess I kind of look at this is why I like uh more independent music is I see them more as like entrepreneurial, right? They're going after something that they believe in and they're carving their own path, which is
Yes. And
how
that's
many
what the
people
nine that's what
actually,
the to go back to it, that's what the 90s was all about.
yeah.
Experimentation, blending flavors, being what the fuck you want to be or whatever, it was the freak flag time. Wave your freak flag. Which I really believe benefited the music. I love so much of the stuff that came out then. There was a lot of we were into thrift clothes back then. I was like we were the Beastie Boys were like um really amplifying the thrift store clothes look. But like we were doing dead stock stuff, like something I have on in that those are probably dead stock Levi's Stay Press jeans. Everything was dead stock. We'd go to like Strange Cargo when were on tour and other places buying dead stock vintage stuff. I remember Extra Large Store was around. I was getting stuff from them. Um, and they also had that magazine Grand Royale, which was another publication that amplified mixing flavors. Um, Fucked was doing its thing back then, and we got clothes from Fucked, and I love those clothes. Blind, we weren't sponsored, but that was another brand that I used to like to rock. Um, yeah, I'd kind of stopped skating, or whatever, and I think was more interested in kind of doing music stuff, you know. And it was just a lot of people were getting signed at a certain point. Like friends were getting signed. There was like a buzz in the city. It was happening at night. It went from hardcore matinees to kind of more night shows in my memory. Like even like the Bond Street Cafe shows that Arts Line played a few of were at night. Wetlands was on the weekends. That was on during the day. Um, but definitely, the keywords I'm thinking are at nighttime, dance, music, thrift clothes, nighttime. That's really what I think about from that time, that period.
That's cool. Uh, you know, I liked the thing I really enjoyed about the 90s is bands weren't afraid to put all those different sounds and colors on their in their music, right? On an album, it could go from hardcore to hip hop like that.
Exactly.
Like,
Absolutely.
and I feel like people, maybe the masses are a lot more ready for that now.
I would agree. I do agree. I'm not wooding, I'm emming. I do agree. I am in agreement.
I I emming. I like that.
I emming.
I emming.
I'm emming it. I love
Um,
words and fucking with words. That shit's fun.
it, Yes, it is.
Yeah.
My favorite thing.
Yeah, yeah.
I think a lot of people's favorite things. So what what is like, how much have you guys recorded so
As
far?
of now, whatever it is, it's what is it, June 6th,
Fifth,
15th, 16th?
yeah, 15th.
We have like 4 songs left that need just like vocals and some additional guitars in a mix. So we have like 5 or something like that. But there's other ones that I think might show up even that are just not even recorded yet. They might show up faster. Mhm.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, yeah.
How do you feel? Obviously, you feel like with the new lineup, this is like a new era for the band. I mean, we all feel like it's a new era for the band. Is there is there like an album that it relates to more, or is this just like just a new thing?
That's a great question. I think for me, the way I look at, like I mentioned earlier, like I wanted to do Orange Nine because of the palette of colors that are available to me. And those are real-time decisions, right? Those aren't decisions based off of what I would have done years ago. It's decisions based around what I will do now, accessing this same kind of palette, whatever. And so I think that the influences is that the information in is all in, that all that input is there for us to create new music and allow people to feel friendly with it because they know the flavor of it. And we know the flavor of it. Um, but I think for me it's always got to be as new as possible. Everything's got to be new, as lit as the most openness, as much openness as possible within the guidelines. Um, as much focus just on just the now moment and
I
creating
like
from
that.
that perspective and just thinking in that fashion.
Yeah. I think that's one thing I've always liked about, Orange Nine is it's always like Orange Nine. Whatever it is, if the song is
Right.
heavily hip hop or not, it's Orange Nine.
I appreciate that. Do you think Turn It
So
Up is heavily hip? Do you think Turn It Up is heavily hip hop?
um so do I think it's influenced. I don't know that I would
Yeah,
say
that
it's
is
like
not heavily.
heavily hip,
Okay, good. Good. That's
right?
that's that's one. That's it. That's what I was just curious to see if you were gonna say yes. I'd be like, okay, I'm surprised. I was just curious. I don't think it
Yeah.
is. No.
No, I don't like obviously there's some influence in there, but I think looking at the history of Orange Nine, like hip hop has always been had a little bit of influence in there, right?
That's
And
correct.
it's never something that's been shied away from.
Correct.
So I mean, I I really enjoyed Turn It Up. I'm
Cool.
super excited for what else you all have going on. I want to. I'm a child right now. Like I want to hear it all now. You know what I
Nice.
mean?
Honestly, I want to hear it all now too. So
Yeah.
yeah.
How do you feel like in there creating more Orange Nine stuff?
Say again.
How do you feel it creating more Orange Nine stuff?
What do you mean? How do I feel about it?
No, just like when you're in there doing it, how do you feel? Is it just like
Oh, I
uh
just
complete?
no, I feel complete now. I think that the orange, I feel like it's working, and if I feel like it needs a push in one direction or another, then I'll ask for it. But I want to. It just for me, it just is it working? Like I like Rolling Stones, or think about any band that has like 10 records. There'll be certain records you'll listen to like, yeah, this doesn't sound good right now. Then you'll go to another record. Oh, this record sounds great right now. And then 3 years later, the record that sounded great is not going to sound this. You're going to like the other record for that time period. So it's just a matter of just being aware and seeing what works. You know, like no, I'm not listening and remembering. Like I'm not a whatever that is, romantic listener. Oh, I when I was 12. I don't. That's not going to make me bob my head. So I just
Right.
listening. So I guess I feel like it's working. And then if I need to push or ask for somebody to get it there, then I'll do that.
Huh. That's that. I think that's a really good way to look at it. Obviously, everyone looks at it a little bit differently. There are, for me, there are bands that I would be one of those romantic listeners. Like I remember when I was this, man, that feeling was awesome.
Yeah, I
Uh,
just don't. I love. I mean, I love it that people do it, and there's beauty and joy and chemistry that gets created with it. That I love to feel those feelings from time to time. But I feel like it fucks with my music making to do that. Maybe it's not.
yeah, I
But
don't know.
it's got to be doing something within my body.
Yeah, that's where the authenticity is, right?
Right. Like,
Like
yeah, that makes sense.
you're
Yeah.
creating what you want to create, something that means something to you, which will, I think any artist says, hopefully translate to listeners. But if not, it's not going to
No, I
change the
mean, yeah,
process
I
of that
think
creation.
if you want to explain it that way, yes, but I think that there is no if not. I mean, there's all there is the process of getting something to work for you. I
Yeah,
mean, theoretically, we talked about in the world, there's only another 7 billion youths. I mean, it's the same spirit in all of us. We all cry at similar things, laugh at different things, even if we're in different, whatever, political parties or races or whatever, or hate each other. There's certain things that just are, you know. A smile is a smile. Even if the person hates smiling, you're gonna get a reaction, you know. So those are
yeah,
those primal things. And I think I heard Rick Rubin mention something about what it does um when he works on a song, he wants to get to its primal core, you know. And I really like that. Um, that's something I heard very, very recently, but
that
I'd like to, I'd like to be, I should be dancing. If all of us are in a room playing music, I should be dancing because and any four people in a room four children can make people dance if they play the things the right way that don't know anything about music, you know? So we should be, people should know what to do when they hear it.
yeah, yeah, I agree with that. Absolutely agree with that. Maybe that's why I feel like music is that great connector. You know,
Yeah.
it brings people together from different political parties, different religions, different
And I don't believe in
what
like politics at all. I think politics is a big fucking scam,
it's a
you know,
I think it's one of the most divisive things that we have.
100%.
And I'm not going to get into it because I have very strong opinions on what that looks like. So we'll I
Yeah,
don't
yeah. I
give a
mean,
shit if you're
yeah,
Republican,
yeah.
Democrat,
I believe if
whatever.
you think about like suffrage movement, civil rights movement, those were movements. Those weren't votes. You didn't cast your vote for suffrage. You didn't cast your vote for fucking, for civil rights movement until it was the hearts were changed,
Yeah.
right? It was our hearts changed. I think that's for me is what we should try to keep in mind. Our hearts will dictate how we get down with each other.
Yeah. I think people need to pay more attention to their heart and not whatever is being fed to them. But
100%. So,
um
what else?
what is your favorite like tour memory from your years of playing music?
Favorite tour memory. Um, Trying to like see which folder to go into on this one.
Ooh,
Um, One of my favorite tour memories was we were in we're playing at maybe it was Orlando or Miami. It was Warped Tour, one of the later Warped Tours, maybe like 99 or 98, something like that. We just got off stage, it was hot as fuck out there. And I'm just kind of like walking around or whatever, like chilling by myself, which I'm meat to do. I like to, do my thing. And I see this big hulking gentleman just like standing kind of like near the barricade. There's like no one else there because like it's people had run to the like other stage. And I was like, yeah, what's up, man? Like, what's going on? He's like, yo, you're Chaka. I was like, yeah, what's up? He's like, yo, my name is Hassan. And he just shared that um he had just gotten out of jail and he was, loved Orange Nine. And I was like, yo, that's fucking dope. And I just literally brought his backstage. He hung out with us all night. We had a great time. I forgot about that meeting, in the sense that, yeah, it was great. It happened. Somebody I know reached out and he was like, yo, Chaka, Hassan's looking for you. I was like, what are you talking about? He's like 305 MVP. I was like, what do you mean? And I was like, oh my God. So Hassan, I recognize his face. So I had met this gentleman when he had just gotten out of jail, and now he's turned his life around, and he's like a WWE like ex-champion or store, whatever it is. So that was pretty great. And he mentioned the kindness that I extended to him as just a guy. To me, he wasn't any famous person. He was just a guy that was out there that just got out of jail, and I said, hey, come hang out, man. You know. So that was
That is that's fucking awesome.
yeah, it's really cool.
Yeah. God, meeting him at his you I guess essentially he was probably at a low right there, like just
Well,
got out of
compared to where
jail.
he is now, you better believe it,
Hell yeah.
you know?
Right on.
Yeah, yeah.
I
What?
like I love that. I can't get over that. I think that's fucking awesome. I like that most most people that I've run into, like most musicians that I run into, are just there's not an ego,
Right.
like you see them at a show and you just sit there and chat with them about whatever. Um,
Yeah.
it's a it's a lovely thing, so good on you for extending that, which is probably something that he really needed in that moment, just to be treated like a human.
And I think he was doing I don't think he had low self-esteem or anything like that, but I definitely would have enjoyed it. But also he gave me an opportunity to trust, to extend unconditional love, to do things. So it's never a one-way street. If you're it's always a two-way street.
Yeah.
So that was a beautiful opportunity, for us both, and even for the guys in my crew. He hung out with the band, he's down with everybody, pool parties, all of it. It was awesome.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Gorgeous. I love it. Uh,
yeah.
okay, Chaka. So do you all have touring plans or more live shows outside of the Northeast?
Well, yeah, see the main thing was to get Turn It Up out, right? So we have something new, so people can when they think of Orange Nine, they can think of a new song, right? Something current and be like, oh yeah, that's fucking dope. Yeah, let's fucking do it. So Turn It Up's out. So now we are, you know, uh, availing ourselves to the right kinds of opportunities to play around the world, basically. And we have people offering, you know, offers to do certain things, and we're trying to see kind of the best way to approach it from a strategic perspective. Finishing, we have to finish some music. One of the things that you sometimes you can get on the road, and then next thing you know, you're back home, and then everyone's busy for 2 weeks, and you're back on the road, and then you have these songs you never finished, which could have really, helped you to kind of share your message over that summer period or whatever it is. So, finishing this next one of these other songs is going to be pretty high up. So we have, I think, two songs, and we can kind of share, some kind of a 45 or 12-inch EP, with two songs, and for people that want something physical. I mean, I love physical shit. having the record and opening it and touch, like I like that. I want to bring that back because I feel like it's so rewarding. It just kind of brings you, centers you back within the music too. Like you're not just floating in hyperspace with like AirPods on, like, you're like holding something that is the music. You're listening, you have the headphones on, or you're black, and you're touching the record, and it's like connecting the circuit, and it's just doing a way more rewarding, creating a way more rewarding resonance, in my view, of appreciation and listening than just sitting in a park bench, with earbuds on.
It's that whole tangible thing, right?
Yeah.
Because it's getting a look at, to me, it's getting a look at the artist as a whole,
Hmm.
to see the artwork of not only the outside but the inside, if you've got a gatefold and the
Liner
lyrics.
notes
And
of some sort or something. Yeah.
yeah, I mean, we grew up in an era where if you wanted to find new music, you either went to a show or you read the liner notes to find out what this band you liked also.
Who do they like exactly?
Yeah, yeah, those were the
Absolutely.
days. I love that. And I'm a big vinyl guy, so the fact that you're like, yeah, put out a 7 inch or whatever. I'm like, oh
Probably a
yeah,
12 inch because I think it just looks better.
yeah,
And it probably is going to sound better too.
yeah. It's exciting. God, that's exciting.
Yeah, 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 I'm stoked. I'm excited that you're excited. We're excited.
Yeah. I can tell you I am not the only one. I mentioned I was at a garden party the other night with
I'm going to go to a
with a
garden party. That sounds fun.
oh, it was great. Like everyone's like, drinking wine or beer or whatever. And my buddy's yard, his partner had laid it out with all of these different like flowers and herbs.
Oh,
And
wow.
she like walked us through and was like, this does this and this does that. And we like, just sat there and connected as people, which was really, really cool. Uh, but I told him, I was like, hey, dude, you like Orange 9mm? He goes, shut up. I'm like, I'm serious, man. Like, uh, Chaka is gonna be on my show. And he was like,
Yeah,
oh my God. Like,
that's awesome. Fucking awesome.
so yeah. I'm really excited. If there is anything that I can do outside of this to help the
Mhm.
band, I will
You
happily,
know, I
happily
will
do that.
I will get with you after this, and we'll see. We're thankful to have folks that are down with the cause. So thank you.
Hell yeah. Um, I will happily put a show on with you guys down here in good old Louisville if when you're ready to get out.
Louisville, holla. I mean, I'm down to
Yeah.
play Louisville. You know.
Yeah. Fuck yeah. Um, okay. I cannot thank you enough, Chaka, for your time tonight. I have had
Okay.
such a great time talking with you.
Thanks, Tom. I really enjoyed it as well, and I think we talked about music for the most part, right? I think I kept it pretty on the music and not too spirituality.
Yeah. Yeah. So if I could say anything to you guys out there, just love your fellow human.
Yes. Yes.
Very, very simple. And go to a live show. Go support a band that's touring. And,
Yes.
if a band is coming back together and playing music that you used to like, go support them. If it's just buying their album on iTunes or whatever
Just stream it. Stream the record,
yeah,
whatever it is, share it, right? All those wonderful things. If it's something that you dig, like when there's stuff I like, I talk about it, right? I'm vocal about it. I want people to feel the same way I do, you know,
yeah,
it's a good thing.
me too. I'm gonna uh I'm gonna go listen to the Sundays now because
Yes.
I need to.
Start with Blind, the
Okay.
Brown record. So good. But you know what? When do you generally listen to softer music?
Oh, it's mood. Like,
I would wait until that's the time for. Don't play it now. Play it. I mean, you play whatever you want, but I would play it when I'm in the mood for something softer sounding.
okay.
So it's just so you don't spit it out because you would think you drunk the vodka and thought it was water, right?
Yeah. Yeah. God, I can only imagine that'd be terrible. Like,
Dude,
oh,
it's happened
water,
to all of us,
not me.
Oh, you never been at a table where you're drinking something, I enjoy, vodka from time to time. I wouldn't normally spit I wouldn't someone wouldn't offer me vodka, I sip it and spit it out. But if I thought it was if I was expecting water, right? So that's what I'm saying about don't listen to it until you want to hear
Yeah,
something softer.
I'm 100% with you. I
Okay,
I will wait till I want something softer. It's literally going to go in my notes on my phone so I
cool.
don't miss out.
That's
So thank
exciting.
you.
What should I check out? Give me one to check out then.
Oh, um, you know, it's hard. Like I right now, what am I listening to a lot of right now? I got to look at my phone and I'll tell you. Um, Actually, I've been listening to Orange Nine for like 3 days.
There we go. So that's it. Let's leave it there. Thanks, Tom.
Yeah, that's that like that is the reality. I fell in love. Tragic was my introduction to the
Oh,
band.
cool. Okay.
And I fell in love with the band with that. Like
Oh,
the
awesome thing.
opening track is such, Fire in the Hole. What a
Yeah.
great like opener, and
Yeah.
it flows so well together. So that was my introduction. I went back to
Driver
Driver
or
Not
EPs.
Included.
Right.
Um, and those were the only two albums that I listened to from Orange Nine for I probably listened to both those albums for 10 or 11 years pretty religiously.
Wow, that's great.
Um,
You like Turn It Up. I think you're gonna like the new stuff. You know,
Dude,
I love
if
Turn
the
It Up.
if the
I think
rest of
it's
it
so good.
is right in line with Turn It Up, like I'm gonna abso-fucking-lutely love it. I promise you, I cannot wait. I'm so excited that there is new Orange Nine music.
Yes, me too. Awesome. Well, on
Hell
that
yeah.
note, thanks, man. Of
No, thank you. I appreciate your time. I know it is the most
course,
valuable
dude.
thing that we have. Once it's
Yeah.
spent, it never comes back. Um, I hope you have a great night.
Thanks. You're a dad, right?
I am. Yep, getting ready to go have
Happy
dinner with
Father's
my.
Day once again. Happy Father's
Thank
Day.
you.
Okay.
I
Thanks,
appreciate
Tom.
that.
I'll see
Have
you.
a great night.
You too. Bye.
Thanks. Bye.